Hi everyone, thank you for being with me here today. In today's video, I want to talk about the role of beliefs, thoughts, and assumptions in your manifestation journey. Before I get started, if you're looking for weekly group coaching sessions, you can join my membership group. Apart from group coaching, we also have weekly quizzes and monthly challenges to ensure you learn manifestation holistically. You can also join my Instagram for a regular dose of motivation, tips, and tricks around manifestation. Okay, so this video is for the people who get really confused with what comes first. Are thoughts the same as our beliefs? Are assumptions the same as our thoughts? So it all comes in an order. It's a step-by-step process. And the first place you start from, once you have a clarity around your desire that, I want this. I want this kind of reality, this kind of experience. Once you have that clarity, the second step you need to take is making an assumption. Now, there's a difference between holding an assumption and holding a belief. Assumption is not something that is solidified. We think of it as something that may or may not be true. So it is something that is not certain for us. We don't have any surety about it. It's not something that has been proven to us. Whereas belief is something that is solidified. It is something that is true for you, something you're sure about, something that is certain for you. It's a mental acceptance of something being true. So this is where law of assumption comes into the picture. If you want something showing up in your reality, you need to create favorable assumptions for that in your mind. Now, once you assume something, a specific outcome, a result, what your assumptions are supposed to do next is create similar kind of thoughts in your mind. So this brings us to the second step, which is your thoughts. The assumptions you create, the perceptions or opinions you form, lead you towards having similar kind of thoughts. Now, if you persist in those thoughts long enough for them to stick, which means they have now become very dominant in you, which means now they have become very familiar to your mind. This is what brings us to the last step of your belief system. So a belief is nothing but a repetitive thought, something that you have thought about over and over and over again, something that you have persisted in consistently is what becomes a belief in you, which is solidified, which you know is true, which you know is certain, which you know it's a fact for you. Now that we have reached this last place where you have built a new belief, going forward, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings are going to be driven through that belief system around that specific topic. And further to your thoughts, emotions, and feelings, your actions, behaviors, words will be driven. So, the kind of experiences you're led to, the kind of people and situations you're led to, come from your belief system, which is stored in your subconscious mind. I speak about the subconscious mind and how it works and what role it plays in your manifestation journey very clearly in this playlist. You can have a look. So when we say that to change your reality, you need to change your belief around that area of your life, around how you see yourself in relation to that area of your life, we mean you need to feed your mind different kind of thoughts now, because those repetitive thoughts will replace the older belief system. And to begin with those repetitive thoughts, you need to start assuming differently. So that is what the law of assumption is. What you assume to be true, what you assume to be happening in your life is going to show up in your life. For example, if there's a new manager that has joined your team, and at the beginning itself, maybe based on the first interaction or how they look or how they presented themselves, you assumed without actual evidence, you assume that they are a rude person or they are someone who's going to micromanage the team a lot, or someone who would require a lot of constant updates or who would interfere with the work a lot. Now, these assumptions would create similar thoughts around that person. You would assume a specific version of that person. And the more you repeat those thoughts in your mind, every time you have to go and interact with them, every time they are a part of a meeting, every time you have to go present something to them, it will eventually turn into a belief. And because your mind is supposed to show you evidences in your 3D reality which match your thoughts, it will present those kind of situations where your assumption will harden into fact that yes, this person is this way. If you assume differently, it's going to make you have different kind of thoughts around that person, and it's going to create different kind of beliefs about that person, and your experience with them is going to be different. And the only reason it feels difficult to choose a different version of your specific person in comparison to choosing a different version and changing your story around, suppose, a manager or someone who is a part of some circle, maybe your teacher, maybe some random relative, maybe any other kind of person, is because you don't have any kind of emotional attachment to them. They don't have any kind of emotional impact on you. Whereas with an SP, you have a lot of attachment, a lot of emotions. So whatever they do, small or big, even while you're persisting in a different version of them, if something happens in the 3D, it's very easy for you to hold on to that story, very easy for you to waver, very easy for you to get disappointed and feel that whatever work you're doing in persisting in that new story is actually not going anywhere. It's all about what kind of attachment and impact you let that person have on you. We are not emotionally attached to people the way we are with a specific person in a relationship, and that's the only difference why other people tend to show up differently more easily compared to your specific person. So this is the exact role your assumption, your thoughts, and your belief system plays in your manifestation journey. It's all interconnected, it comes one after the other, and it's not complicated. So always assume things that are favorable to the new reality you're seeking. What is that new experience or new story you want showing up? Ensure that your assumptions are in favor of that and not opposite to that. The more you assume that way, the more your thoughts are going to align with that. If there are different kind of thoughts showing up, redirect your mind. And after you repeat it, persist in it long enough till it becomes a habit, which means till it becomes familiar to your mind. Okay, you're rewiring your mind. You're changing your old programming about that subject. Your old belief system around that will be replaced with a new belief system. And then the chain starts again. You will be led to new thoughts, new feelings and emotions. You will see things differently. You will behave differently. Your actions will be different. Inspired actions is a part of that. And you will be led to that reality very seamlessly, very naturally. So that is how your thoughts change your reality. That is why your belief systems holds a very strong place in your manifestation journey. And that is what law of assumption means. I hope I was able to add some value to your manifestation process. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a great week.